Andrews come out, and she's over at ESPN. And there's Alexa Philippou talking about the WNBA, WNBA-PA, discussing a moratorium proposal that would apply to an upcoming league business, including free agency qualifying offers and core designations, which were set to begin as early as Sunday. Breanna Stewart said that while a qualifying offers may be going out.
Stop and really think about this for a moment. Breanna Stewart, who is a co-owner of a competing professional basketball league, is now publicly encouraging WNBA players not to sign their contracts. A player with ownership stakes and unrivaled, a league that directly competes with the WNBA, is effectively promoting what amounts to a work stoppage, yet the media has largely ignored the glaring conflict of interest hiding in plain sight. Just this past Sunday, the WNBA issued qualifying offers to free agents as part of its standard process, only for the Players' Union to immediately call for a moratorium and urge players to refuse signing anything. Leading that push is Stewart herself, who not only serves as a vice president of the Players' Union but simultaneously owned a rival league, placing her in a position where her interests on both sides of the table collide head-on.
The NBA, that just all sounds insane to me when it comes out of my mouth. Every time it comes out of my mouth that you have players that are vice presidents of the Players' Union for one league owning a different professional basketball league. It's just baffling. But nonetheless, we found out yesterday, I did a video, the NBA and WNBA, very smart. Very smart. We said, they came out, they said, you know what? We're under a moratorium here. Let's start sending out qualifying offers to.
Here's what the league just did, and it's a quiet masterstroke. They ended the negotiation moratorium and began issuing qualifying offers under the current collective bargaining agreement. On paper, these offers follow the old salary structure, with max contracts capped around $250,000, and no one seriously expects players to sign them. But the contracts aren't the point. The real move is psychological. Now every player is holding a tangible offer with a real dollar amount, forcing a direct comparison to the league's proposed new CBA, where that same contract could be worth 6 times more. A player making $100,000 today could earn $500,000 in year one alone under the new deal. That's potentially 5 years of life-changing money laid out in black and white, while the union is telling players to walk away from it.
Personal shots. You're bringing up social reform in a collective bargaining agreement. We're seeing your ridiculous inflatable rats and freaking a digital banner on the side of a truck, and it's starting to feel like low budget AA baseball shit out there by the Players Union. It's like, okay, come on, stop this nonsense. And it feels personal, and it's like they want revenge.
Watch how public opinion has shifted over the past 3 weeks. In the beginning, nearly everyone was on the players' side. The message was simple and effective. Women athletes deserve fair pay. The league is finally gaining traction, and players should share in the growth. That framing held for about 10 days, until the inflatable rats showed up, followed by a digital billboard mounted on a truck circling Manhattan. Then the Players' Union took to social media in a way that felt less like collective bargaining and more like personal grievance. That's when casual fans began asking harder questions, especially this one. Why are players acting as if owners have been stealing from them when the league has never posted a profit in its 28-year history? This isn't rumor or spin. It's documented reality. The NBA has covered the WNBA's losses every year since 1996. Yet throughout these negotiations, not a single player or union representative has publicly acknowledged that fact.
None of them. And it's common knowledge. It's common. I mean, there's sports fans that don't give a rip about the WNBA that knows it's never made a profit. Why? Because it's been a running joke forever. And then, of course, it also got a lot of publicity when Brittany Griner got locked up in Russia. Yeah, that was a thing. But nonetheless...
Here's the part no one wants to talk about. Everyone knows the WNBA has never been profitable. Even casual sports fans are aware of it. For decades, it's been a running joke in sports media. The league didn't receive sustained mainstream attention until Brittany Griner was detained in Russia in February 2022, and even then much of the conversation centered on why she was playing overseas in the first place. The answer was obvious. WNBA salaries weren't enough to live on. But now, real money is finally on the table. The owners have proposed a deal that would raise maximum salaries from roughly $250,000 to $1.2 million by the end of the agreement, a nearly 600% increase for top players. Mid-tier players stand to gain even more proportionally, with pay jumps 8 or 9 times higher than what they earn today. This isn't a marginal upgrade. It's genuinely life-changing money.
Making them think about money and the increase in money. That's all they've talked about. We want new money. We want more money. Well, more money and a lot more of it's on the table. Right here, I put this up this morning. How long before the WNBA players start chewing their own legs off, trying to get off a sinking ship? You've got a lot of women turning down a lot of money. $2 million by the end of the new CBA is a lot of bread just laying there to be picked up. And that's the whole thing. The money is now officially, because it's been offered.
Think about what this actually means for the average WNBA player. Not Caitlin Clark, not Aya Wilson, not Sabrina Ionescu, but the 6th through 11th players on the roster. The ones without shoe deals or national endorsements. The ones paying $2,500 a month in rent and flying overseas every winter just to make ends meet. Under proposed CBA, those players could realistically buy homes and achieve real financial stability for the first time in their careers. They could stop spending every offseason in Turkey, Russia, or Australia and finally give their bodies time to rest and recover. The gap between the current deal and the new one isn't abstract. It's the difference between renting and owning, between constant financial anxiety and actual security. And yet, the union is telling them to turn it down, to keep fighting, to wait for something better. That raises a question union leadership doesn't seem eager to answer. Better than what? Better than a 600% raise? Better than life-changing money? And at what point does this stop being about fair compensation and start being about something else entirely?
That's who we're talking about. And let's be real. What if the league was like, well, we're going forward with replacements and our rookies, which I don't know if that can happen. I know they're currently under contracts. But let's face it, a lot of people have brought this up. Just get replacement players. Think about all the rookies, and they're all star. Like, much of the stardom in this league, almost all of it, is people on rookie contracts. Think about that a minute. I mean, Rickea Jackson, Sonia Centra, Paige Bueckers, Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, Aaliyah Boston. A ton of players.
Now consider the nuclear option, the one the union desperately doesn't want anyone to dwell on. What if the league simply moved forward with replacement players and rookies? Look at who's actually driving WNBA viewership right now. Caitlin Clark is on a rookie contract. Angel Reese is on a rookie contract. Rickea Jackson is on a rookie contract. Cameron Brink, before her injury, was on a rookie contract. The surge in ratings, attendance, and media coverage this past season was fueled almost entirely by first- and second-year players. You could realistically build full rosters around rookies and recent draft picks, supplement them with overseas talent or G League replacements. And the ratings would barely move. The matchups casual fans actually care about, Caitlin Clark versus Paige Bueckers, Clark versus Camila Cardoso, would still exist without a single veteran making more than $200,000.
Not going to look much different at all. I'd be willing to bet they would look no different. Oh, I'm tuning in for Caitlin Clark versus Paige Bueckers. I'm tuning in for Caitlin Clark versus Sonia Centron. That's still all on the table. Angel Reese is out. You get my point I'm trying to make. It's the veteran players that are the long-term back-end veteran players that are screwing this all up.
Here's what makes this moment so dangerous for the union. The veteran players, the ones with 8, 10, even 12 years in the league, are pushing hardest for a work stoppage, and they genuinely believe they've been underpaid for a long time, which isn't wrong. But they're no longer the primary reason most people are tuning in. The league doesn't need Breanna Stewart to drive viewership. It needs Caitlin Clark. It doesn't need Diana Taurasi. It needs Angel Reese and Paige Bueckers. The power dynamic has shifted dramatically in just the past year, yet veteran leadership hasn't adjusted its strategy to reflect that new reality. That's why the league sending out qualifying offers was such a smart move. Now every player is forced into a deeply personal decision. Do I stand in solidarity with veterans fighting for principles I support, or do I sign a contract that could immediately and fundamentally change my financial life?
Wow, this was such a smart move. I mean, the league's not dumb. They know these players are not going to sign those qualifying offers, but it gets the players to thinking about their money and where they want to go. And I've seen people go, oh, well, there might be a 3-week off season and it'll be exciting. Really? I mean, the way this league's run, you need all the time you can get. Again, how many times have I talked about how Bush League some of these telecasts look? And I'm tuning into some Atlanta Dream game, and it's like, am I watching single A rookie baseball? With the quality of this broadcast, and just there's all kinds of things this league needs as much time to get together and do professionally as possible. Tell me what you think. Peace. I'm out. Till next time.
Let's zoom out and look at what's really happening. The WNBA owners have put a historic offer on the table. Salary increases of up to 600% for top players, massive raises for mid-tier players, improved travel, upgraded facilities, and meaningful enhancements across the league. It's not perfect, but it's substantial. Instead of narrowing in on the remaining details, the Players' Union has escalated its tactics, folding social reform demands into the CBA, reopening years of perceived disrespect, and seeking accountability for eras when the league was losing tens of millions of dollars annually. Those frustrations may be understandable, but they aren't negotiable assets. You can't bargain for retroactive respect. Inflatable rats, protest trucks, and coordinated social media campaigns may energize the most devoted supporters, but they alienate everyone else. To casual fans, it looks like players are turning down life-changing money and asking for more, which naturally leads to a different question. What is this fight really about? The uncomfortable reality is that the owners can wait this out far longer than the players can. The NBA doesn't need the WNBA to turn a profit and has subsidized it for nearly 3 decades as a long-term brand investment. So a delayed or canceled season is just another absorbed loss. Players, meanwhile, lose a year of already short careers, a year of income, and precious momentum at the exact moment the league is finally breaking into the mainstream. When Breanna Stewart urges players not to sign, it may sound like solidarity, but that's an easy stance to take when you have unrivaled income, major endorsements, and long-term financial security. Most players don't. The 6th player on the Dallas bench doesn't have that safety net. When she sees a qualifying offer that could fundamentally change her life, while union leadership tells her to reject it, she's forced to ask whose interests are actually being protected. That's precisely why the league sent those offers out now. They're betting that individual self-interest will eventually outweigh collective solidarity, that a real contract with a real number attached to a player's name will feel more compelling than abstract labor principles. And they're probably right. Professional sports has short earning windows, and players without major endorsements can't afford to sacrifice a prime season for a negotiating stance that may not even improve the final deal. Unity is easy when fighting clear injustice. It's far harder when resisting an offer that would make most players wealthier than they ever imagined. With those offers now sitting in inboxes, the real test has begun. How long before the first player breaks ranks? How long before someone decides that $500,000 in hand matters more than solidarity with veterans fighting battles from a different era? Once one player signs, the strategy collapses. The league has deliberately shifted the fight from abstract values to concrete numbers, making the decision personal, immediate, and unavoidable. And in doing so, it may already be winning.